Hello people, welcome again to the African time. Well, today the whole space or this content is for the newly inaugurated African giants, the South African people. Yeah, we all know how great South Africa are. Well, recently or this week, the whole of Africa are celebrating their greatest achievements and how come they have always stood up to represent Africa so well by hosting the World Rugby Champions, hosting cricket, hosting the World Cup champions, even now went to do ahead to host the G20. It's amazingly beautiful. And this has got the whole continent talking, and they are actually saying that thank you, South Africa. They appreciate representing the whole continent for this one. Let's see this. So this one shared and says, you think a country that successfully hosted the World Cup will struggle with the G20 summit? South Africa is the real African giants. Yep. This is what an African is saying, that he said that you guys think South Africa will have lost or have the poor concession or poor work down with this G20 thing. You guys were slacking. Because one of the biggest or the best World Cup events ever happened in South Africa. And I'm not joking. 2010 FIFA World Cup so far is still the greatest of all World Cups. Let's see what Americans will do in the 2026. But for now, for me, my point of view, 2010 FIFA World Cup is still number one on the list. What do you think? Again, this African also came and says, growth is realizing that South Africa is the real giant of Africa. Wow. These are all African people, and they are so much happy on how South Africa showcased their culture, how they handle this event, the protection, the security details, everything was so on point. South Africa looked so beautiful with the whole thing, and then they made sure everything worked perfectly, and every leader is back home safely as well. That is very commendable. I want to say big shout out to South Africa for that. You guys really did it. This one says that South Africa is organized. Wow, South African right there is actually saying that South Africa is really organized and they deserve everything coming their way. Again, bro says, you think a country is great because it threw a 70 million rand party for a bunch of bigwigs, while down the road from Nasrik, the city is falling apart. That's it. So another South African is actually thinking different or otherwise though. Again, this one says they have a functioning and working system. All we have in Nigeria is a corruption pro-mass. Nigeria right there is actually attributing the fact that Nigeria is failing due to corruption. And he believes that South Africa are lucky or they're having things right or things being done right in their country. Again, bro says, talk anything you want to, but you will never smell the African giant title. That's in Nigeria right there. Man is saying that, well, South Africa can have all the great achievements all they want, but still the African giant title remains for Nigerians. Wow, that's bold statement right there. And again, man says that South Africa has a lot of potential, just that we led by wrong people. The South African right there is actually saying that South Africa has one of the greatest, it actually has the potential to be one of the biggest countries out there, but they actually lacking leadership as a problem as not only them facing though, it's actually a whole African problem. The leadership is one of the biggest problems in the continent and actually lacking us behind. My man is saying that if not because of leadership problem, South Africa will have been more or way greater than we are seeing right now, and we appreciate it right now. But in all of this, I want to say big shout out to South Africa. You guys have actually did well enough holding Africa down, portraying Africa like this, and making sure to host one of the best, simple, beautiful summit of all time. Thank you guys for that. Really appreciate you guys being part of the continent. Thank you guys. Love you.